Yeah, it's interesting how God works. The story that I wanted to share was one that happened about 25 years ago. Judy and I were a young married couple living in Grapevine, Texas. We had three relatively young children. And on a weeknight, my oldest son had baseball practice. And he was a good baseball player, so it was really important for him to get to practice early. So this particular night, I was driving him to practice, and as things would turn out, I had car problems. And I had to pull over to the side of the road. And like any dad, I knew to open the hood and look like I knew what I was doing, but I couldn't solve the problem. And my son was fretting about not getting to practice on time, and I was worried about the car on the road and the safety. And in just a few minutes, a guy that we went to church with named Ray Davis saw us and pulled over. Ray did know a lot about cars, and he looked in there and said, "Well, yeah, you need to have some work done. Stay here for a few minutes and I'll be back." And Ray didn't live too far from where we were, and in just a few minutes, he came back with some towing equipment, and he was also followed by his wife, Marilyn. And what made the story so unique is that not that Ray stopped to help, but what happened afterward. Ray not only helped me get my car towed to an auto mechanic because he knew a guy, but his wife Marilyn came so she could take John to practice. And so Ray towed me to the auto repair place. Then after we dropped off my car, he took me home so I could get our other car. And when I drove up to John's baseball practice, there sat Marilyn helping John, or watching John, making sure that he did just fine in practice. And so it was a real simple act, but Ray and Marilyn really showed me a good Samaritan. Not only did they do the absolute minimum, they went above and beyond and helped us get through a challenging situation. And as the story turns out, Ray and Marilyn's son-in-law, some 25 years later, was able to help John find his first job in a CPA firm. He was a partner at the CPA firm that John was hired at right after college. So that was the story about somebody showing me God's love in a real meaningful and tangible way.